Welcome to class, yogis. I'd like to begin our class today with a quote from Maya Angelou. She said that, "I've learned that whenever I do something with an open heart, I usually make the right decision." So she says, "I've learned that whenever I decide something with an open heart, I usually make the right decision." What we're going to be exploring today in this short practice is the relationship between our mind and body. Most of us would believe that everything we do with our body begins in our mind. There is actually scientific research that shows that the body and the positions that we put our body in actually can affect our mind, our body, our emotions, and even our hormones, and therefore affect our lives. So our body position can change how we feel about ourselves and therefore how we show up in the world. So that's probably why we keep coming back and back to our yoga practice. I'm basing this talk on a TED Talk that you can look up by a social psychologist called Amy Cuddy out of Harvard University. And she gave a very famous talk, which is called Your Body Language May Shape Who You Are. And it's based on some research that took place where they measured the levels in their subjects of testosterone, that's a hormone, testosterone, and cortisol. What they found was when they put people into positions which they called the power positions, so a power position would be with your heart open, looking slightly up, or with your hands up. For just 2 minutes, they measured significantly higher levels of testosterone and lower levels of cortisol. Now, testosterone is the hormone that helps us to get up and go, and cortisol is the hormone that makes us anxious. So then they also, of course, put their subjects into positions that were opposite of the power position, where they were hunched over. For example, the position we might use when we're looking at our phones or into our laps. And they noticed that their testosterone levels dipped significantly and their cortisol levels elevated. And this was only after 2 minutes. So it's a very interesting area of science and research called embodied cognition. So the idea that we can put our bodies into positions that will actually elevate our mood. And I'm sure we've all felt this after a really good workout or a yoga practice. So today we're going to use this to work on our practice. So hopefully you will get this sensation as well. So my body position can change how I feel about myself and how I show up in the world. I am strong, confident, and open-hearted. So let's begin our practice. Namaste. Please come to the top of your mat and stand in Tadasana Pose. Open your hands so they're shining forward. Draw your shoulder blades onto your back. Lift your belly in and up. And we'll begin with Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale, reach up, look up. My body. Exhale, fold forward. Position can change the way I feel about myself and therefore how I move through the world. Half forward fold. Place your hands down and step back into plank pose. Slowly lower all the way to the floor. Inhale, press into your hands and curl up to cobra, lifting your heart up, drawing your shoulder blades back. My body position can change how I feel about myself and therefore how I move through this world. I am confident, strong, and open-hearted. Exhale and lower. Inhale, come through tabletop position, and let's come into downward facing dog. Walk out your first dog. Press alternate heels into the ground. Lift your armpits up gently. Good. And then come to stillness, breathing deep and full. My body position can change how I feel about myself and therefore how I move through the world. I am strong, confident, and open-hearted. On your next inhale, lift your heels and step or hop your feet to the top of the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold, looking up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, root to rise all the way up. Lifting your heart up and bringing your hands to the heart center. And again, inhale. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, half forward fold, looking up. Exhale, forward fold. This time, bend your elbows in Uttanasana behind your back. Deeply clasp your hands. Reach your hands up and open your heart up, drawing your shoulder blades onto your back. My body position can change how I feel about myself and therefore how I move through this world. I am strong, I am confident, and I am open-hearted. Exhale, release your hands to the floor and step back into plank position. Slowly lower all the way to the ground. Inhale, point your feet and curl up to Cobra, opening your heart up. Exhale, come into Child's Pose. Release your head onto the floor and breathe deep and full. My body position can change how I feel about myself and therefore how I show up in the world. I am strong, confident, and open-hearted. Inhale, come through tabletop into downward facing dog. Inhale now, lift your right foot up, tail of the dog. Exhale, step through, keep your back heel up and rise to high lunge. Inhale, come to warrior two position. Good, let's reverse the warrior. Opening up your side body, opening up your heart. My body can change how I feel about myself and therefore how I show up in the world. I am strong, I am confident, I am open-hearted. Now let's transition to side angle, Parshvottanasana. Press your elbow into your leg, lift your heart up, and then drop your hand behind your back onto your sacrum. First, opening your heart more, and then reach your hand overhead. Breathe deeply and fully here. One more breath. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Inhale and exhale. Inhale now, drop your left hand down, lift your left heel up, step back into plank pose and slowly lower to the earth. Point your feet, inhaling, curling up to Cobra. Exhale, come into downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, this time step your left foot forward, drop your rise to high lunge, and then drop your right heel down to warrior two. Reach through your fingertips. My body can change how I feel about myself and therefore how I show up in the world. Reverse the warrior. Good. Breathing here, I'm strong, confident, and open-hearted. Inhale now, come to Parshvottanasana, bend that front elbow, lift your hands straight up to open your heart up. Pretend you're pressing your back against a wall. Now bend your top arm at your sacrum, open your heart up further, and then reach your hand overhead. Extend your side body, opening up that heart, spinning your chest open. Breathe deeply and fully. My body position can change how I feel about myself and therefore how I show up in the world. I'm strong, confident, and open-hearted. Drop your right hand down, drop your left hand down, step back into plank and slowly lower. Inhale, point your feet and curl up to Cobra. And exhale, come into downward facing dog. Breathe deeply and fully here in down dog. Inhale deeply, exhale fully. Inhale and exhale. Inhale now and step your right foot forward between your hands, just changing sides. Drop your left knee down and rise up to low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Clasp your hands at your low back. Roll your shoulders onto your back by shrugging your shoulders, reaching through your fists and opening your heart up. Stay here or open your hands and keep your hands as close together as you can with your heart open. My body can change how I feel about myself and therefore how I show up in the world. I'm strong, confident, and open-hearted. Beautiful. Exhale, release your hands to the floor, and let's change sides. Place your left foot in the front, clasp your hands behind you. Press your fist down as you draw your shoulder blades together and lift your heart up. Either stay with your hands clasped or open them and pretend you're pressing a ball between them, opening up your heart. Building the muscles and this position of an open-hearted position. Inhale deeply, exhale fully. One more, inhale and exhale. Lower your hands and step forward to forward fold. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. And exhale, fold again. Bring your hands to your waist. Draw your elbows up and stand all the way up. Now we're going to do extended hand to foot pose. So let's begin by rooting through your right foot and lift your left knee up. Good. Now hold on to your big toe with your index and second finger. My body can change how I feel about myself and therefore how I move in the world. Then as you extend your leg out, extend your hand up, opening your heart. It's okay to wobble. Breathe. My body can change how I feel about myself and therefore how I move through the world. I am strong, I am confident, I am open-hearted. And let's change sides. This time root through your left foot, lift your right knee up. First two fingers, put them through your toe lock. You can do this with a strap, of course, as well. Bending your knee up as you extend that right leg diagonally out to the right. Lift your hand and open your heart. My body can change how I feel about myself and therefore how I move in the world. I am strong, I am confident, I am open-hearted. And bring your knee in and release your foot to the floor. Now we'll transition to the floor poses. Step to the top of your mat. In Tadasana Pose. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, look up. Exhale, Uttanasana, touch the earth. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, look up. Exhale, transition, plant your hands, step or hop back to plank, and slowly lower. Inhale, come to Cobra. Exhale, transition to downward facing dog. Breathe for 2 breaths here, inhaling deeply. Exhale fully. Check in with how you're feeling here. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Now step or hop your feet through your hands to the top of the mat. And we'll practice Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, bridge pose. Plant your feet hip distance apart. Shift your hips forward towards your heels and slowly lower to the earth. Plant your hands by your hips, thumbs facing in. Press into your heels and lift your heart up, lift your belly up, lift your chest up. And push down into your heels to lift your front body up. Now clasp your hands under your back by rolling your shoulder blades even tighter together. Push down to lift up. My body can change how I feel about myself and therefore how I move through the world. I am strong, I am confident, I am open-hearted. And inhale, release your hands, slowly lower your spine into the ground. Bring your kneecaps into your hands and massage your low spine. Beautiful. Option here now to do full wheel Urdhva Hastasana, Urdhva Dhanurasana, or to do another bridge pose. If you're doing Urdhva Dhanurasana, hands by your ears, press into your heels and push up, opening your heart, pushing down to lift up. My body can change how I feel about myself, and therefore how I move through the world. And when you're ready, slowly come down, gently lowering to your head. And just massage your low back here. Rocking side to side. Brilliant. Okay, this time let's extend your left leg and cross your right leg over. Reach your right hand out to the side and look to the right. And let's change sides. Reach your right leg straight down the mat. Right hand to left knee and cross your left leg over to the right. Looking to the left. Great. And inhale, slowly come to center. And let's make our way back up to a seated position, just as we began our practice. So let's breathe here. Ujjayi breath, and notice how you're feeling here. Notice how your body has made you feel this morning or this afternoon. See if these words have rung true for you today. And I have one more closing piece to read to you, and this is by Drake, actually. So he says, I don't know much about this world, but I do know one thing. When people open their hearts, they find the courage to do remarkable things. So keep your heart open. I wouldn't worry about anything else. I think that's just beautifully said. I'll say it one more time. I don't know much about this world, but I do know one thing. When people open their hearts, they find the courage to do remarkable things. So keep your heart open. I wouldn't worry about anything else. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.